my favorite plants. And then one of my favorite overall plant is the blue oxalis. Yes, it's an oxalis. A lot of people have problems with that. It's the weed. It's one of my favorite ones. And then just a general slide in the upper right-hand corner. You have your cut leaf or philodendron, cut leaf philodendron, split leaf philodendron, fire spike, Bromangsia, angel trumpet, even a banana back there. I took that off your list because, again, banana, saws conservation. Well, I kind of like to take that one off the list a little bit. But different types of shade plants. So you do have parts of the courtyard which will be shady. And then finally, again, alfresco living. What are we talking about is, this is where we're eating and entertaining out in the courtyard. There's an excellent slide we saw earlier from Randy, as having the fireplace out there, the pool, everything, very relaxing, able to entertain but also eat. You're outdoors all the time. And we can do that with a properly designed Spanish courtyard. Just a little bit about the design of it. There are some problems. We do have some pest problems, largely a result that these are three-sided or four-sided features. We have limited airflow. What happens? We tend to have sucking insects. So you're going to see aphids, spider mites, mealybugs, scale. It's almost an inherent problem. Some species are going to be more susceptible than others. I had a question earlier today. I'm talking about hibiscus. They're covered with scale. The gentleman says, the other ones aren't covered with scale. What do I do about it? Basically get rid of that one and use the other ones that don't have the scale. But if you want to use some solutions, this is what we talk about. First of all, try to create some airflow. Well, that's kind of hard after the building has been built. But if you're building a new building or creating one from scratch, trying to orient it so that there is flow. Where is most of the wind come in the wintertime? Anyone know? From the northwest. Where's most of the wind come in San Antonio in the summertime? Southeast. So maybe you want to think about that when you're designing the courtyard. Okay, prune and dispose of infested material. Remember, as the great Jerry Parsons says, cutting does not mean killing. So if you have infested material, just cut it and work with the remaining one. Sometimes you're going to have to cut it back down to the ground and let it grow, and have it grow back from the roots. Do not put it in the compost pile. You don't have to wear the toxic suit, but you put it out, you seal it in a plastic bag, and you put it out in the trash. You don't let those generations return. Or you can use chemicals, oils, seaweed extracts, soaps, pyrethrins. If you want to use manufacturing chemical, one of the best ones to use is imidacloprid, otherwise known as the Bayer product, B-A-Y-E-R. I'm looking around to see if anybody organic enthusiasts is. I had to say that this morning, and I turned around against Bob and said it. But it is last on the list. Please use the other alternatives first. All right, water collection. An element, you see a lot of Spanish courtyards, particularly in Europe, is a cistern of some type. So they're using the water off the tile roofs, storing it, and using it for their plants, primarily the pots, container plants. What I have on the left-hand side are some rain, what do we call these? Rain chains. Now the one on the far left, I didn't look at it except to last night. I looked at it really close without my glasses, contacts, and I noticed it's actually a water feature. They're pumping it back and forth. So I went, But I have to make, I thought it was so cute. I said, oh look, they're using the rain, threw this little tube all the way down and plugged it in the pretty container down below. And then I looked at it real closely and I saw the electric outlet. And I went, it's coming back and forth. The other one in the middle is a true rain chain, where they collect the water off the roof during the rain, and then it comes down into a collection area or directly out into the garden. And it's very nice, it sparkles as it comes down. cistern on your right-hand side. Outside, I promised them I would do this, outside at 1 o'clock there will be another talk on rain harvesting methods, sponsored by the Bexar County Master Gardeners. Please attend the rain harvesting demonstration outside. Anyway, water collection is excellent because you have this vast expanse with impervious material. You need to collect some of that water or design the courtyard such that the water is taken away during a hard storm. Water conserving agents. What do I mean by that? Well, think again, you have limited bed area, lots of pots. What can I do so I'm not out there 3 or 4 times a day watering pots? That's one of them. Humectants. What are humectants? Humectants is the fancy word for any substance you apply to another substance to retain moisture. Now, it can be moist, but usually compost, or polymers, or let's see, long sugar chains, salts of hydroxy propionic acid. I was reading these all this past week, so I have some examples for you. Humates are basically fossilized peat moss that they dig up. It can be lots of things, but one of the ones I mentioned was polymers. All right, polymers are basically polyacrylic, man-made, these are man-made polymers. Polyacrylics or polyacrylamides, polyacrylamides. These are long chains that open up with the water, and they hold all the water, and as conditions dry, they let the water molecules out for long. So over a long period of time, there's extra water. Classic ones, pterosaur, is an old one. You know what? Or just simply some peat moss, not the peat moss that we think of, but it has to be Canadian or sphagnum peat. Peat moss actually is, if you didn't know it, is a finite product, so you can never renew it. So when you dig it all out, that's it, once you use it. And then I have lots of problems with peat moss in containers, because they tend to dry out, and they're clump up, and so the water just shoots off. They're totally dry inside. So I use sphagnum peat moss, I cut it up, or chop it up, or tear it up, and just kind of mix it up with the potting soil. Ooh, on that note. When you have potting soil, I don't have a slide for that, but I'm going to talk about it right now. Potting soil. So I was talking to Roberta and Bob this morning for any other ideas that they may have. And they have several different products that they use. But you know what Roberta says? You know what? The best thing for a container to reduce the amount of watering times is just put in